Hello, power users. In this video, we will learn how to create animations in Elementor using GSAP. Animations that are independent from the page scrolling, as we will be using manual timeline controls. Moreover, we will learn how to stagger those animations to achieve a more dynamic visual effect. Let's get into it. This is an example of what we can achieve by using manual timeline and staggering options. Unlike other animations that are mapped to the scrolling of the page, the animation here plays in its entirety as soon as the canvas options are fulfilled and the trigger element comes into view. Each image plays its animation, and the image next to it will play the same animation after a bit of a delay, dictated by the staggering value. We can see scrolling does not affect the animation at all. Let's take a look at our setup here. But first, if you haven't already, it's recommended that you watch the GSAP Scrolltrigger overview so that you're up to speed with this powerful feature. Link in the description. Here we have a container to which we've given a CSS ID of sec1, with 2 other containers and 6 image widgets inside in total. We've given each image widget the same CSS class of images so that we can target them all in a single tween. We don't need to give an ID to the containers that actually contain the images, as they won't be used as triggers for our animations. Let's enable GSAP, the timeline and timeline scrolling. Let's take a look at our GSAP event, or tween as it's more properly called. We chose the standard event type, given it a function of from, and we pasted the ID of the container as our trigger, as we know from the previous tutorials. Let's use the CSS class of our images in the target. This way, the animation will apply to each item in that class, as opposed to the single item if we had used a CSS ID. We will want to toggle off event scrolling since we're using the manual timeline and not mapping the animation to the scrolling. In the canvas settings, we can see that the scrubbing field is empty, signifying that scrubbing is off. Again, scrubbing is the value that defines the relationship between the scrolling and the animation timeline, so it's not relevant here. In the transformation settings, we've set the opacity to 0 and the scale for both Z and Y axis to 2, with 1 meaning 100% of the size. Considering that the function we've chosen is from, this means that each image will reach the transformation and opacity values we've set in the widgets, starting from the values we've specified up in the tween. We've then placed a value of 0.6 in the stagger field in the animation settings. This means that between each animation, there will be 0.6 seconds in delay. Going into the manual timeline options, let's set a duration of 1 second. This means each animation will last 1 second, and then be staggered by 0.6 seconds as specified with the staggering options. Let's take a look at the results again. All the animations play correctly, all controlled by a single tween. If we go back into the manual timeline options and add a delay, update and refresh, we'll see that the animation won't play instantly, but it will only start after the specified time has elapsed. This, of course, works with any combination of transformation options, as we can see. Thank you for watching. Manual timeline options open the doors to animate in more ways than just by scrolling the page when working with GSAP Scrolltrigger. We can't wait to see the amazing designs you will be able to create with this powerful feature. See you next time.